All right, what's happening, everybody? Welcome to Easy Money, a sports betting show. Wednesday, November 16th, 2022. Running a little bit late, only about an hour, but hey, had some technical difficulties earlier today that kind of threw everything behind, and then I figured we'd do a short afternoon show. We ended up doing a full afternoon show, starting almost an hour late, so running a little late. But joined by my dad, Tony Gonzalez, as always. How's it going?
Well, not too bad.
Got a pretty decent slate of games today. Got some NBA, a little bit of college football. Of course, got some college basketball as it's starting to get in full swing. Slate of games today. Got some NBA, a little bit of college football. Of course, got some college. Okay, sound is okay. I've always got to check it because you never know. Got a big Thursday night football coming up tomorrow night. So let me pull this up. Well, I guess we can start. We'll start in the NBA, I guess.
Yeah, that's fine.
Got a decent slate. First game is the Indiana Pacers at the Charlotte Hornets. The Hornets are 2.5-point favorites, minus 136 on the money line. The Pacers are plus 116 on the money line. Over under for this game's at 233.5. I like the Pacers in this game, but full disclosure, I'm a Pacers fan as well. But the Pacers have not been playing bad basketball. They've been competitive in almost every game. Their biggest thing has been their defense. The Hornets aren't at full strength right now either, with Hayward out and stuff. But I like the Pacers in this game on the money line. But I really love the over the 233.5 because both these teams can score points, and neither team is strong defensively.
Indiana's been playing pretty good offensively as far as getting a lot of players in double figures and playing as a team offensively. Yeah. They are struggling with defense. There's been a couple games where they fall in love with the three a little too much. That one game, you might remember who it was against that they should have won. That they blew it. They was up 18 and just fell in love with the 3 points.
Oh man,
it was got the one foreign player. It's pretty good. Got in foul trouble.
It was the Denver Nuggets.
Nuggets, yeah. They fell in love with a three and just
was up by 18 going into the fourth quarter and ended up losing the game.
Yeah, I think if they would have continued to play the type of ball they played in the first half, but that's what NBA has become. A lot of 3-point shots, but
a lot different than when it used to be. I remember watching it. When I used to I watch it now, but I don't watch it as much as I used to. When I was younger, back in the 90s, when Reggie was playing, we watched almost every game, and which I watched a lot of the Pacers games still, but not as much as I used to. But back in the 90s, it was more defense, and now it's all turned into kind of like the NFL too. They're all concentrating on the offensive side of the ball. Making the rules easier for the offensive side. They've done that in NBA where now you can't hand check. You can't. Hell, it's hard to even close out a guy on a 3-pointer without getting a foul called anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
Just think how many points Reggie Miller would have averaged if you couldn't close out on him on 3-pointers like it is now.
That's true.
Hey, how's it going, Glenn? Thanks for joining us. Good afternoon to you. Hopefully you're having a good day. Hopefully you're staying warm. It's cold. Yeah, it's cold outside.
IU played tonight? I know they got a game coming up with Xavier back.
I think it's tomorrow.
Is it tomorrow night?
I think it's tomorrow. I didn't see it. I didn't see it on the schedule. Next game is the Oklahoma City Thunder at the Washington Wizards. And one more thing about Pacers real quick. I said they got to get better defensively. I think that they will as the season goes on because they're such a young team too. So I think they will get better. But I like the way they play. They play hard, and we got a lot of talent on the team. I think we could end up being pretty good. Thunder at the Wizards. The Wizards are 5-point favorites at home, minus 210 on the money line. The Thunder are plus 176 on the money line. Over unders at 229.5. I favored the Wizards in this game at home. The Thunder have been struggling this season as well. Timberwolves at the Magic. Timberwolves are 6.5-point favorites on the road. They are minus 260 on the money line. The Magic are plus 215 on the money line. Over unders at 222.5. this is a game where I'd favor the over the 222.5. Favor Minnesota to win the game. 6.5 points. So this Magic team hasn't won a whole lot of games, but they have been competitive. So 6.5 worries me a little bit. Miami Heat at the Toronto Raptors. The Raptors are 1.5 point favorites at home, minus 124 on the money line. The Heat are plus 106 on the money line. Over unders at 215.5. The Heat's been dealing with some injuries with Tyler Hero being out, Oladipo being out, two of their big bench players, especially Hero. I do like the Heat to win this game. I think there's good value with the Heat at the plus 106 on the money line. Then you have the Boston Celtics at the Atlanta Hawks. The Celtics are 1.5 point favorites on the road, minus 120 on the money line. The Hawks are plus 102 on the money line. Over-unders at 233. I like the Celtics on the money line here. I think they're the better team. The Hawks have been hit and miss. I think they're still adjusting to some of the new players they brought in. But I like the Celtics to get the win here on the road. The over the 233 interests me as well in that team because both teams can score points. Chicago Bulls at the New Orleans Pelicans. The Pelicans are 1.5 point favorites, minus 124 on the money line. The Bulls are plus 106 on the money line. Over-unders at 226.5. No Zion for the Pelicans. That worries me a little bit, but Bulls are missing Kobe White, and I think they're still missing Lonzo Ball. So I like the Pelicans at home, even without Zion. They still have Ingram. They still have McCollum. But I do like the Pelicans at home at the minus 124 on the money line.
What did you have it on the -1 on the points?
Minus 1.5.
1 to 1.5. See, what I had was -4 Pelicans.
It's at 1.5. So even if you wanted to take it on the points, but Cleveland Cavaliers at the Milwaukee Bucks. The Bucks are 3.5 point favorites at home, minus 166 on the money line. The Cavs are plus 140 on the money line. Bucks to me have been the best team in the NBA so far, and they've been battling through some injuries. They didn't have ain't had Giannis lately, haven't had Middleton or Holiday lately. They're going to be getting all three of them players back. I like the Bucks at home tonight on the money line. At the minus 166. And the Cavs aren't a bad team either. They've added Donovan Mitchell and some of the players they've added. They're a pretty good team. But I like the Bucks.
Forget about the past, what's happened in the past, last year and stuff with the NBA. Just by going by what's went on this year so far, who would be the two favorites? I mean, Golden State's not playing well.
Milwaukee out of the East would be and then I'd have to go with the Suns out of the West probably because the Suns are probably playing about the best basketball in the West right now.
Even over Portland?
Portland's playing pretty good too. I don't know.
I mean, I'm not saying that the Portland's going to be there at the end. I mean, maybe they will, maybe they won't. I'm not going to.
Yeah, Portland's looked good.
It's still real early.
Suns have looked good, and they haven't had Chris Paul for some of them games either. So that kind of makes me think they're going to be. I still believe the Warriors are going to be there at the end. Even though they've got off to a rough start, but we'll see what happens. But I think Warriors are a better team than they were last year. I don't understand why they're having such problems on the road. It really hasn't made a lot of sense. But you're seeing a lot of parity in the NBA this year. You're seeing a lot of teams beat each other. You don't have as many of your just breakout teams. And
I heard on the afternoon show one of the guys, Jay, talking about the NBA sucks right now. I disagree with him. I'd rather see the parity. I don't want to see 2 or 3 teams dominate all the time.
No,
that's just me personally.
No,
of course, I don't. I'm a Pacer fan. I want to see the Pacers get up there, but I mean, I'm not. I get tired of seeing the same teams being dominant all the time.
Yeah. Oh, I do too. That's what I like about football this year as well. I mean, there's no clear-cut teams that there's teams that are favored, but there ain't no clear-cut team right now you can say is going to win the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? All the teams have showed weaknesses.
The Jets beat the Bills this year. The Colts beat Kansas City this year.
Going to beat the Eagles this week.
Yeah, Washington just beat the Eagles. Was a lot of people thought Washington was trash. Now everybody's trying to say, "Oh, Washington's a real good team." That don't surprise me. Trying to make excuses for the Eagles. No, people always saying they were trash and didn't have a chance. Now, come on, just like people were saying that about the Colts. Now, if the Colts win this game and go to 5-5-1, what are they gonna say?
Yeah.
If you have beaten Kansas City on your resume and beat Philadelphia too,
Well, they said the Colts are a disgrace to the NFL for hiring Jeff Saturday. Well, they're going to say if he starts out 2-0.
that's true.
People look at things at the small picture too much. Because if you actually look at it, their whole complaint was mainly about race, about a black or a minority coach didn't get that opportunity. But what they don't understand is if they should be rooting for Jeff Saturday to succeed, because if Jeff Saturday succeeds, it's going to open the door for more players to get fast tracked into coaching.
That's just what Keyshawn Johnson was complaining about. Said that he complained that Reggie Wayne got the opportunity to coach, be a wide receiver coach. Mad that he didn't get that opportunity. Well, maybe if he had good relationships with his coaches and general managers, instead of being, he used to hold out and do all kinds of stuff. That comes back on you. I'm not saying he was wrong for doing what he was doing, but everything has repercussions.
Yeah, my point is, say Saturday does good, that can fast track where more players get opportunities to maybe get an offensive coordinator job or a head coaching job without having to. Because I understand players' complaints. I understand why there's not a lot of players that go into coaching. Because a player that's played till he's 35, 40 years old, he's not going to come in and start at the bottom of the coaching pool and go get coffee for people and stuff like that. That's not going to happen.
But Keyshawn was complaining about that. But Reggie Wayne got that opportunity. He should be happy that Reggie Wayne got that opportunity because in a couple of years, if Reggie Wayne does a good job, he may be an offensive coordinator or maybe get an assistant head coaching job, which could turn into a coaching job, a head coaching job.
I think if Saturday does good, that you might see more of these players getting opportunities. You might see more players become coaches, and who's the biggest population of players is minorities in the NFL. There's more players, minority players, than there is Caucasian or white players, however you want to put it. So I think that could actually help that. But everybody looks at it at one side, and if they don't like it, they want to find the first thing to complain about, and that was the first thing they went to was race. And this time, don't get me wrong, it has happened, but this wasn't about race. This was a guy he wanted to bring in a leader, and he brought in a guy that he knew and that he thought could come in and at least keep the locker room together, and if not, can tell them what they needed to change.
And it's also somebody he respected and somebody he thought that would maybe do it. Dwight Freeney said if he'd called him, he would answer the phone. If he called me, want to be the head coach, I wouldn't answer the phone. That's what Dwight Freeney said. So,
I just thought everybody So I thought most of the people on TV just severely overreacted about that.
I agree.
And then when the Colts win, then all they want to say was, it was the Raiders. It was the Raiders. Well, nobody was saying it was the Raiders when other teams beat the Raiders earlier this year. Everybody thought the Raiders were going to be a good team this year, but now it's the Raiders. So it's like, dude, it's hard to win a game in the NFL no matter who you play, and especially only being there for a week. For him to have that team ready and just the coaches that have a decent game plan together, I thought was remarkable. But next game, Houston Rockets at the Dallas Mavericks. Mavericks are 6.5-point favorites, minus 260 on the money line. The Rockets are plus 215. Over-unders at 218. I like the Mavericks in this game at the minus 6.5. The Rockets are improving, but they're a young team, and Luke is just playing lights out. New York Knicks at the Denver Nuggets. The Nuggets are 3-point favorites, minus 156 on the money line. The Knicks are plus 132 on the money line. Over-unders at 226. I like the Denver Nuggets at home here at the minus 3 against the Knicks. Knicks have been playing pretty decent this year, but the Nuggets have been playing pretty well. But there is one thing that kind of worries me about this game is Jokic is not playing tonight for the Nuggets. He's out on health and safety protocols. So that's something you want to think about if you do like the Nuggets. And then last game in NBA, you got the Golden State Warriors at the Phoenix Suns. The the Warriors are 1 point favorites on the road, minus 118 on the money line. The Suns are even money at home. Over unders at 227.5. I like the Warriors in this game. I know the Warriors are struggling on the road. I think this is a game where they get turned around. Last time they played the Suns earlier in the year, the Suns beat them pretty good. So I think they're going to come out playing hard tonight. So I like the Warriors on the money line in that game. Did you have any NBA?
Yes, I've got a parlay. I got the Minnesota Timberwolves at the Orlando Magic. I'm taking the Timberwolves minus 6.5. I've got the Bulls at the Pelicans. I'm taking the Pelicans minus 1.5. And I got the Houston Rockets at the Dallas Mavericks. I'm taking the Mavericks minus 6.5. $10 bet worth $69.70 plus $5.97.
See, my picks for Pacers on the money line. Also like the over the 233.5 in that game. I like the Boston Celtics on the money line, Golden State Warriors on the money line, and the Pelicans on the money line.
So if you want me to, I got an NHL parlay.
Yeah.
Okay. I got the Anaheim Ducks at the Winnipeg Jets. I'm going to take the Jets money line. I got the Buffalo Sabres at the Ottawa Senators. I'm going to take over 6.5 goals in this game. And then I got the St. Louis Blues at the Chicago Blackhawks. I'm going to take the Blues money line. Don't have a, money thing on that one.
Yeah. Okay. NCAA basketball tonight. I'm not going to go through all the games because, like I said, because there's quite a few. But I do like Michigan at the minus 8.5 tonight against Pittsburgh. I like Iowa minus 1.5 against Seton Hall. I like Notre Dame minus 14.5. Well, I didn't write that one down, but that was Notre Dame minus 14.5 against Southern Indiana. I like Ball State minus 4.5. Give me 1 second. I'll get back to who they're playing. But and I also like Ohio State minus 31.5 against Eastern Illinois. And Ball State is playing. It's one of them games. They're playing Omaha. And I like Ball State at the minus 4.5 in that game. So in college basketball, like Michigan at the minus 8.5, Iowa minus 1.5, Ball State minus 4.5, Ohio State minus 31.5, and Notre Dame minus 14.5. Do you have any college basketball?
No, I don't have college basketball. I've got college football.
Okay. College football. We'll go into college football. Let's see. There's only 3 games?
Yep.
Yeah, 3 games tonight. Some more MAC games. You got Eastern Michigan against Kent State. Kent State's a 7.5-point favorite, minus 315 on the money line. Eastern Michigan is plus 250 on the money line. Over-unders at 60.5. I'm going to take Kent State in this game at the minus 7.5. Then you have Miami of Ohio at Northern Illinois. Northern Illinois is a minus 1.5-point favorite, minus 115 on the money line. Miami of Ohio is minus 102 on the money line. So they have this being a pretty close game. Over-unders at 44.5. I like Northern Illinois at home. And then last game is Western Michigan against Central Michigan. Central Michigan is a 10-point favorite at home, minus 385 on the money line. Western Michigan is plus 300 on the money line. Over-unders at 49.5. I like Central Michigan to win the game, but that's not one of the picks I'm going to give out. But my college picks are going to be Northern Illinois at the minus 1.5 and Kent State at minus 7.5 for college football.
Okay, I got a parlay. I got Eastern Michigan at Kent State. I took Eastern Michigan plus the 7.5. I got Miami of Ohio at Northern Illinois. I took Northern Illinois minus 1.5. We got Western Michigan at Central Michigan. I take Western Michigan plus 10. $10 bets worth 69.60 plus 596.
Okay. So you're opposite of me on the one, but
Yep.
same on the other.
Yep.
That's pretty much, I think, everything for tonight. You already done hockey, didn't you?
Yep.
I don't have no hockey. Yeah, that's pretty much all for tonight. I'll kind of recap. NBA, I like the Pacers money line and the over the 233.5. Celtics money line, Warriors money line, and the Pelicans on the money line. College basketball, Michigan minus 8.5, Iowa minus 1.5, Ball State minus 4.5, Ohio State minus 31.5. It's a lot of points, but I don't see that team being able to stay with Ohio State. And Notre Dame minus 14.5. And in college football, Northern Illinois minus 1.5, and Kent State at the minus 7.5. NFL, we have a big Thursday night game tomorrow. We'll give our picks for it tomorrow, but it's the Tennessee Titans at the Green Bay Packers. Packers are actually 3-point favorites at home, minus 168 in the money line. It kind of surprised me that the Packers are favorites.
It's at home, maybe that's the reason. I don't know.
Unless Tannehill is still going to be out, but Tennessee almost beat Kansas City without Tannehill because of their defense. But Tennessee's plus.
Tannehill played last week, didn't he?
Oh, he did that.
Yeah, he did play.
Tennessee's plus 148 on the money line. So over-unders at 41. I haven't made a decision on it. This game's hard because Tennessee's played better than the Packers most of the season. But the Packers did get a big win last week, and sometimes you can feed off that momentum of getting that win. That rookie wide receiver finally had a breakout game. Sometimes it takes a breakout game, and then you start really kind of finding your way. Being in Green Bay, not sure what the weather's going to be. So I think it's going to be an interesting game tomorrow night.
I think it's going to be cold and nasty.
Aaron Rodgers usually plays pretty good on prime time. So it's going to be an interesting game. Like I said, I'm still going back and forth on this one.
I'm going to lean towards Green Bay I worry a little bit about Green Bay's defense against the run. Yeah. Tennessee's going to try to pound the football. They're going to have to. So, but if they can contain a little bit, don't let
if you don't let Derrick Henry blow the game up.
Yeah, if don't let him get 150, 178, 180 yards rushing, I think Green Bay has a shot.
Then you have take a quick look ahead at a few of these NFL games for this weekend. Panthers at the Ravens. Ravens are 13-point favorites. The way the Panthers have been playing, I think 13 points might be too much.
You got Baker back.
Baker's going to be the quarterback.
Yeah, that kind of surprised me that I mean, they must really not think too much of Baker.
Yeah, because the way the Panthers have been playing, I mean,
they've been up and down. But 13 points is a lot of points. Where's the game at?
It's in Baltimore. But still, I think 13's a lot. Then you have the Browns at the Bills. Bills are 7.5-point favorites over the Browns. Eagles at the Colts. Eagles are 6.5-point favorites. Which, if the Colts are as bad as everybody talks, you would have thought the Eagles would be a lot bigger favorites than 6.5. Jets at the Patriots. Patriots are 3.5-point favorites at home. Washington and the Texans. Washington's 3.5-point favorites on the road. Rams and Saints. You got the Saints as 4.5-point favorites at home.
Well, the Rams are playing terrible.
Well, and they just lost Cooper Kupp.
Yeah.
And is Stafford going to be back from the concussion protocol?
Yeah, I don't know.
Lions and Giants. Giants are 3-point favorites at home. That's probably going to be a pretty good game. Bears at the Falcons. Falcons are 3-point favorites at home. A lot of close spreads this week. Raiders and Broncos. Broncos are 2.5-point favorites at home.
Bears and Falcons. Both those teams try to find ways to lose games. It may not be a winner that game. That might be a tie.
And this game really surprises me. You got the Cowboys at the Vikings. and the Cowboys are 1.5-point favorites on the road. I don't understand how the Vikings are home dogs with only losing one game this season.
And the way that Dallas has been playing against the run.
Yeah.
And Minnesota's got two pretty good running backs, especially the main one, but the other one, the second guy,
Cook and Madison are both
Madison's
pretty good.
pretty good too.
So that really don't make a lot of sense to me how why they have the Cowboys as favorites. Bengals and Steelers. Bengals are 4.5-point favorites on the road.
That could be Steelers are a different team when Watt's there defensively.
And then Sunday night, you get the Chiefs at the Chargers, rematch of an earlier game this season that was a real close game. That's where Herbert actually got injured his ribs. The Chiefs are 5.5-point favorites on the road. And then Monday night, the San Francisco 49ers at the Arizona Cardinals. And they have the 49ers as 8.5-point favorites in that game. Which I know Cardinals haven't been playing very good at all, but still 8.5
A lot of points.
is to me, especially on the road, is quite a few points. Even though I like the 49ers, I think the 49ers are getting healthy at the right time. If they can stay healthy, I think they're going to be a hard out come playoff time.
Is Murray healthy? Murray didn't play the last game.
Yeah, I'm not
So
sure.
If Murray don't play, then I kind of understand that. If Murray plays and is
you don't trust Colt McCoy?
No, not at all.
I'll tell you this.
What do you think about this statement?
Another excuse by Kevin Durant. Dude's one of the most talented players, but he's also one of the softest players I've ever seen.
But thing is, how can you say that? No disrespect. He says no disrespect and you hammer your home team?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That's not a leader.
Yeah, I don't know.
Horrible.
He's not a leader at all. That's for sure. That's for sure. He's not a leader at all. And I'm starting to think he's one of the softest players we've seen in a long time because, you don't call your whole team out like that.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Basically, what do you expect? I'm playing with these guys. It's basically what he said.
Yeah, that's what he said. Exactly.
I don't know. The Nets got a mess. Kyrie Irving, they're still not letting Irving play. He's missed seven games so far. We'll see how long they carry out this suspension for. A lot of people don't think he'll ever play for the Nets again. But if you're going to do that, why don't you just say he's suspended indefinitely instead of keeping a thing where people are just going to keep talking about it?
Bring him back. Don't play him. Try to trade him.
I don't think anybody will trade. I don't know if anybody will trade for him.
I don't think the Lakers would try to get him.
They probably could, but I don't think the Nets want Westbrook. Go reunite KD and Westbrook. Then KD will be really crying probably. All right. We'll recap real quick before we get out of here. Like I said, tomorrow we'll talk Thursday night football. There'll be I know there'll be some NBA, some college basketball and all that tomorrow. But for tonight, I like the Pacers money line and the over the 233.5. Celtics money line, Warriors money line, and the Pelicans money line in the NBA. NCAA basketball, like Michigan minus 8.5, Iowa minus 1.5, Ball State minus 4.5, Ohio State minus 31.5, and Notre Dame minus 14.5. And then college football, like Northern Illinois at the minus 1.5, and Kent State at the minus 7.5. Did you want to go over any of yours?
Yeah, I will real quick. NHL, I've got the Anaheim Ducks at the Winnipeg Jets. I got the Jets money line. I got the Buffalo Sabres at the Ottawa Senators. That's over 6.5 goals on that one. St. Louis Blues and Chicago Blackhawks. I got the Blues money line and a 3-game parlay there. Next up, I have a college football. Eastern Michigan plus 7.5 at Kent State. Miami of Ohio at Northern Illinois. I got Northern Illinois minus 1.5. Western Michigan plus the 10 at Central Michigan. $10 bet is worth $69.60 plus $5.96. NBA parlay. I got the Timberwolves minus 6.5 at the Orlando Magic. I got the Chicago Bulls at the New Orleans Pelicans minus 1.5 of the Pelicans. And then I've got Houston Rockets at the Dallas Mavericks. I got Dallas minus 6.5. $10 bet worth $69.70 plus $5.97.
Last week my picks went 27 and 15. Monday I didn't have a very good day. I'm not gonna lie. Monday I was 3 and 5 on Monday.
I was 4 and 5 on Monday.
Yesterday we didn't get to do a show because of technical difficulties. We couldn't get logged in. So hopefully we can get off to a better start today to get the week going good again. But we appreciate everybody watching. We'll be back tomorrow. Don't forget tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern. We have a big interview with pro wrestler, the Naptown Nightmare, Jawan Thomas. Should be a great conversation. So join us tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern for that. On YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch at Gonzo Sports Room and at the All Sports All Plays Network as well. Then this weekend we'll be we'll be live streaming 2 pro wrestling shows. Saturday we'll be in Shelbyville, Indiana for New Era Pro Wrestling. That starts at 7 p.m. Eastern Saturday night. And then on Sunday we'll be in Danville, Indiana for Warrior Pro Wrestling, which that starts at 3 o'clock Sunday afternoon. So if you're a pro wrestling fan, come join us for that. You'll be able to see the matches. We do live commentary. We'll be live at the events. So should be a fun time. Them 2 organizations always put on great shows. So we've got a lot of stuff coming up. Next Tuesday, we have owner and promoter for AWR Wrestling here in Indiana, Gary Emmett. He's going to talk about their big show they have on Black Friday. Yep. So that should be another great conversation. He's been on one other time back when we first started, so it'd be nice catching up with him. And AWR has been doing a lot of things since then, so it'd be nice to talk to him. Got a lot of stuff going on. Follow us on. Please hit that subscribe button on YouTube at Gonzo Sports Room and at the All Sports All Plays Network. Like and follow us on Facebook and Twitch at Gonzo Sports Room as well. Social media is where I post all the information about all of our shows. So Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all at Gonzo Sports Room. Check those. Like and follow us on there so you're always up to date on what's going on. But we appreciate everybody joining us today, and we'll see you guys tomorrow at 3:30 for another episode of Easy Money, a sports betting show. Hope everybody has a great night. Stay safe. Try to stay warm.